Crown Princess Mary of Denmark stood with a grace and warmth that instantly captivated every soul gathered under the grand chandeliers of Christianborg Palace. All eyes were on her as she prepared to pay tribute to her beloved husband, Crown Prince Frederik, on the glittering occasion of his 50th birthday, a milestone that was not just personal, but deeply national. The hall, elegantly adorned with rich tapestries and the scent of fresh Danish blooms, seemed to pause in gentle anticipation. Here was a moment carved out of history, a luminous juncture where royal protocol gracefully gave way to human emotion. With a delicate breath that betrayed both her composure and her profound emotion, Crown Princess Mary began to speak. Her voice, warm yet trembling with affection, wove through the hushed air like a tender lullaby. She spoke not as a royal consort burdened by centuries of tradition, but as a woman deeply in love with the man who stood at the center of the evening's celebration, Frederik, a man who was simultaneously Denmark's future king and her life's chosen partner. As the guests listened, royalty from across Europe, dignitaries, and close family friends, it became immediately clear that this was not to be a speech laced with stiff formalities or sterile diplomatic pleasantries. Mary's words blossomed with the freshness of lived memories. Her sparkling eyes often drifted toward Frederik, who sat leaning forward slightly, his expression open and tender, as though each syllable from his wife's lips was a cherished treasure. Mary began by recalling the very first time she met Frederik, a meeting so serendipitous it seemed almost scripted by fate itself. She painted vivid pictures of that moment at the Slip-In in Sydney during the Olympics, where a Danish prince met an Australian commoner, setting into motion one of modern monarchy's most enchanting love stories. Her gentle laugh lit up the hall as she admitted she had no idea she was speaking to the heir to one of Europe's oldest thrones. The guests laughed with her, swept along by the honesty of her recollection. From there, her words carried them through the years. She spoke of the early days, full of transcontinental phone calls, shy visits, and the delicate dance of two cultures trying to blend into one. Mary spoke of how Frederik's easy humor and profound kindness won over not just her, but her entire family back in Tasmania. There was a point where her voice caught slightly, when she described Frederik's first visit to her childhood home, playing with her nieces and nephews, trying awkwardly to surf, and sitting under the stars of the southern hemisphere discussing dreams bigger than either could fully articulate at the time. A hush fell even deeper across the hall when Mary spoke of the challenges they had weathered together. Life under the public eye was never easy, and she did not shy away from acknowledging the intense scrutiny they both endured. She spoke of the headlines that sometimes hurt, the rumors that stung, and the burden of constantly being seen, judged, analyzed. But through it all, she declared with unwavering conviction, Frederik remained her anchor, steady, patient, and endlessly supportive. Her tribute did not linger solely on trials, however. Mary's words blossomed into stories of joy, the births of their 4 children, each of whom brought a new dimension to their lives. She described Frederik as a father who was playful yet profoundly attentive, the type to build elaborate Lego castles on the floor with Prince Christian, to share quiet confidences with Princess Isabella, to cheer at the twins Vincent and Josephine's smallest achievements. Her stories painted Frederik not as an untouchable royal, but as a man deeply embedded in the messy, magical business of family life. As she spoke of their children, Frederik's eyes glistened unmistakably. At one point, he reached up to brush away a tear, smiling sheepishly as the room erupted in tender applause. Even the stoic older courtiers seemed moved, many nodding with gentle approval. Here was a royal family that felt close, relatable, human. Mary then shifted to a broader canvas, celebrating Frederik's tireless dedication to Denmark. Her words danced over his environmental efforts, his countless engagements in support of Danish industry and culture, his championing of sports and healthy living. She spoke of his profound love for Greenland and the Faroe Islands, of his joy in meeting Danes from every walk of life, from fishermen to tech entrepreneurs. Each anecdote served as another carefully set jewel in the crown of Frederik's character, a man deeply committed to his people, a prince who had long since proven himself worthy of becoming king. Then came a moment so powerful it seemed to stop time itself. Mary paused, her hand momentarily pressed to her heart, and when she continued, her voice was softer, edged with the vulnerability that comes only from deep, abiding love. She thanked Frederik for being her rock through her own evolution, from Australian lawyer to Danish princess, and ultimately a woman more confident in her own skin. She thanked him for understanding her silences, for laughing at her jokes that nobody else quite understood, for standing by her side on the days when royal duties felt overwhelming. She ended her speech with a gentle, private pledge spoken into a microphone but meant only for him. I am so grateful for the life we have built together, for the laughter that fills our halls, for the quiet moments when the world slips away and it is just us. I look forward to all the chapters we have yet to write, hand in hand, heart to heart. The hall erupted. Applause rolled like gentle thunder through the grand space, punctuated by teary smiles, nods, and even a few royal handkerchiefs discreetly dabbing eyes. Frederik stood, his face a tapestry of love and gratitude, and embraced Mary there before everyone, two people whose private love had momentarily become the very heartbeat of Denmark. What followed that evening was a celebration drenched in joy. There was music, traditional Danish folk intertwined with modern melodies, and laughter that seemed to bubble up from every table. Old friends toasted to the couple's happiness, relatives shared affectionate teases, and younger royals snapped candid photos destined to charm social media for days. Yet through all of it, the true highlight remained Mary's speech, replayed in countless conversations throughout the night. Later, as the palace's golden lights spilled into the quiet Copenhagen streets, and the last guests took their carriages or slipped into waiting cars, one couldn't help but feel that they had witnessed something far more profound than a royal birthday. They had glimpsed a marriage built not just on duty, but on genuine, soul-deep love, a partnership that stood as a living testament to what the modern monarchy could be: warm, accessible, and human at its most gloriously imperfect. Crown Princess Mary's speech that evening didn't simply honor Crown Prince Frederik's 50 years on Earth. It beautifully, tenderly, and with utter conviction cemented their shared story at the heart of Denmark's own. Her words now float through Danish history like soft petals on a breeze, destined to be remembered long after the last candle of that grand celebration was snuffed out. And so we leave you with this question, dear viewers, one that reaches far beyond palaces and crowns. When you stand at life's grand milestones, who will stand beside you, smiling through tears? Speaking words that could make the world stop just to listen. If you enjoyed this heartfelt story, please make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below with your thoughts on Crown Princess Mary and Crown Prince Frederik's extraordinary journey. We love hearing from you.